Well, welcome everyone to the Wealth Agora. This is an update from Dr. Stephen Hobbs, sharing with you about some books that I have published and update you on new books that are going to be coming out in 2023. I'm one who enjoys writing, and people ask sometimes for books or ideas, concepts, practices, and I go ahead and write something and bring it forward so that it's of use to you, helpful to you, and maybe even eventful for you. And today I just wanted to update you on a couple of the things that I have been working with and have published out onto Amazon. So let's get into sharing a little bit about what's going on at this point in time. And these books are available through the Wellth Movement website as well, wellthmovement.com/store. That will be on the last slide that I'll share with you. But to just get us going with what is available here is that these books are in support of a lot of what I'm doing with the international mentoring community and the Wellth movement as well. These are the two newest books that I have placed up on Amazon. They will be in different styles as well in terms of flip magazines and Kindles for at least one of these two here. So let me share what's here. The first book is called Mentoring Now, and it's about the mentor within, mentoring without. And this book is about 42 action outcomes. Actually, there's 7 categories of action outcomes, of which there are 5 action outcomes under each of those categories. Now, by action outcomes, what I'm referring to is a statement that starts with a verb and then has an outcome phrase that goes with it. So I might say something like, use ethical decision making. Use is the verb. I could use demonstrate, manage, lead. These are other verbs, and the ethical decision making. So these are the kind of statements that are in this Mentoring Now book, and they come from my practice as a facilitative mentor. I'm bringing them to you because someone asked me, well, what are some of your ideas that you would want to share with us? And I said, okay, ideas, and then I'll do insights. Let's do some interpretations, investigations, and some inquiries. I sort of went a little bit beyond just ideas and shared them through the book. It's a very simple, upfront, nothing fancy kind of book. It's one that you can just sort of get a hold of. It certainly is in your hands at a 6x9 size. And there is space to play around, write notes into. And I believe that there's enough concept and practice there to really give you these insights into these 42, especially the 35 action outcomes that are listed. And there are resources in the back where you can get more information and able to get a hold of me for something if you need some interpretation. But again, you can always go to the wellthmovement.com/store, or you can do /contact and send me a question, a comment. Hey, if you even have a funny, you can do it that way. And there's also obviously the YouTube channel here where you're watching this video. So please subscribe and use the comment function there as well. The second book that I put up is called The Legacy Notebook. It's to keep track of your ideas and insights as you move through understanding the legacy projects and stories and contributions that you want to make. So again, and I share on many of my videos, legacy is about the useful whats that you gift others so that they might learn something from you lived experience. And this notion of living experience, lived experience, it sort of links with mentoring quite well, is because mentoring is a educating process an educating approach that you use with the mentee, and the mentee's asking you questions from your lived experience. You're answering them, then having a collaborative conversation between the two of you, and acknowledging, advancing, amplifying your learning, knowing, and sharing. And so the legacy notebook is one that gets you to think about, well, what is this project and the stories and contributions that I want to make? And it's based on the 5 key pillars of the legacy approach. And so what you have is the ability to, on different pages, and there's an explanation about each of the pillars, on each of the pages is sort of a circle and say, well, I want to write about story today, and you write into your notebook, and it's a way in which to keep track of things. It's an 8.5 by 11, and so you have lots of space to write into. It just sort of sits on your desktop or even on your lap, on a clipboard, however it is you want to provide a surface on which to write. So it has a lot of ideas there that sort of stimulate you, so you get a good sense of where you want to go with your legacy project stories and contributions. The next one I wanted to share with you is the idea of where we're going with some of the other books that are forthcoming. So there's a legacy journal. This will be a 6 by 9 size. Again, it's more open pages. There's a few prompts there, but it's just to write out the sort of full gambit of your thinking about legacy, and it's there for you to record those. That's kind of interesting, or I think I'll follow up on that kind of statement. These are the ways in which to use your legacy journal. The legacy workbook is a prompt of ideas that come from a phrasing such as legacy is about, legacy encourages. And these are statements that I have come up with over the years that I thought would be of value to you. And it's in this workbook style. So there's a statement there. There's going to be 21 of them. And you can work through. There's a couple of questions. So there's essentially 4 pages associated with each legacy statement. So again, it's something that you could do over the course of a month. If you want to take longer, you certainly can. And it just stimulates your thinking. And some of those ideas could go into your legacy journal. You might even find you want to put them into your legacy notebook. So it's called the Noteworthy Legacy. It's sort of a series of 3 books that work together. This legacy workbook is number 1. I will be publishing a series of that book in particular. The other ones you can sort of photocopy yourself, or you can buy new ones and work from that perspective. So what else I'm going to be doing is, someone asked me the other day being a couple of months ago, what is this whole legacy story about? And what are the values and challenge and projects and story and content? What's this all about? You keep talking about it. And I said, well, what I'll do is I'm going to write a book about legacy. And it came to me, Legacy Decoded. How do I decode all of this insights and ideas about legacy? And I thought that I would write the Legacy Decoded book and bring it all to the foreground for you, so that you might be able to figure out how to work with legacy as a whole, and have those other, the workbook, the notebook, the journal there in support. My plan is to have this out by May of 2023. That's where I'm going with it. Most of it is written. I just got to put it together, but I'm in the process of writing another book and publishing it. And so this one will likely come about more into April, get it done and ready for May 2023. So that brings you up to date with many of the books that are coming out. But I would also like to just share is that I'm rewriting some of the other books that I have written over the years. These are what I call insight books. They're practice-based. They're about living life and experiencing the extraordinary and creating well-living organizations. So I'm going to be writing these up. Part of that is to bring the ideas that have been flowing through me over the years out onto paper and making them available for you. So stay tuned for updates around those books as well. And there are two other books that I think I'll mention at this point in time. Another one is called Olders to be Elders. It's sort of the background information about this story of olders to be elders. This, how do you move from the O of olders to the E of elders, and what does that mean? I've been working on that one for a little bit. It's pretty close to being done. It'll have a little bit of a flavor of a practice book, an action outcome related book as well. So it will be one that you can just sort of dive into and think about it, and then take some actions that are associated, get some outcomes. It's not so much about the stories of other people or stories about myself. It's really about action outcomes. Another book that will be coming out here, I'm hoping within the next week or so, is a really interesting book about awareness and forests. And I'm going to leave it at that because I will be shooting another video here on the Wellth Agora, bringing up to date what I'm doing with that book. And that one will be the first of a series, and those books will be coming out on the equinoxes and the solstice. So I'll explain more about that, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of a hint, put a little mystery into this presentation so we can just enjoy ourselves. So with that, remember, you can go to wealthmovement.com/store. That's where all the books will be. And there will be other videos explaining the books and what they're about. So some people call those sales pages. They'll be available as well. But with that, I think I've covered off what I wanted to today. So take care, and we'll see you at the store.